So we are going to be learning about solving simultaneous equations. Now, before we get started on understanding what simultaneous equations are, I've just got decimals up to show us. So if I just put two lines here, 2x plus 3. At the moment, we can see that they are parallel and they are not going to cross. So when we talk about simultaneous equations, it means that they will cross at one point if we're talking about linear relationships. So that means as soon as I change my gradient, it's going to cross at one point. So this is what we mean. It's about finding that the shared x and y values of this point. So that means we are going to be looking at solving simultaneous equations with substitution and as well as elimination. So let's start off. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at the y. Both here and here, we can see that they are already both equal to 2y. So that tells me that I'm able to go 4x plus 3 is equal to negative 2x plus 15. I can make them equal to each other because they have a shared y value, which means now I've made them equal to each other, I can find that shared x value. So the next step that I'm going to be looking at is I will change color, is I'm going to get my x's to one side. So I'm just going to underline my x values, and that means I'm going to plus 2x to both sides. Now with this, I'm just going to go 4 plus 2 equals 6, plus 3 is equal to 15. The next step that I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get my constants to one side. So I will take away 3, and that gives me 6x is equal to 15, take away 3 is 12. The final step is I will divide both sides by 2 to get 12 divided by 6. So to divide both sides by 6 to get x equals 2. Now I've done that, it doesn't matter what equation I pick, I'm just going to grab that x equals 2. Whoops. So I'm going to grab that x equals 2 and I'm just going to plug it into my equation. Doesn't matter what one. So I'll just do my first one, y equals 4, where x is, I'll put 2 plus 3. I'm just going to simplify that. So 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3, and 8 plus 3 equals 11. So I've got y is equal to 11. Let's move on to the next question. Well, before I forget, I probably should have put it as a coordinate 2, 11. The next one, we're doing the same process. We are looking at substitution method. So again, we need to get one of our equations with a variable by itself, and straight away here, I'm able to see that. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab x plus 1, and wherever I see the y, I'm just going to substitute it in. So that means I've got 3x take away 2 in brackets x plus 1 equals 4. The next step is I'm going to expand my brackets. So that gives me 3x take away 2x. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 2 is equal to 4. I will simplify this. So I will simplify my x's. So 3x take away 2x is just x. and I will get x by itself by doing the opposite of take away 2 and adding. So that will give me x is equal to 6. Now I know what x is, I just need to substitute it into my equation. So that will give me y is equal to x is 6 plus 1. Y must be 7, so my coordinate will be 6, 7. Again, make sure you're pausing these videos to have a go yourself. This next substitution question, again, I've got y by itself. So I know what y is. My y is x plus 2. So I can substitute it into my formula of y. So I'm just going to rewrite mine. 3x take away 4. I know what my y is. My y has to be x plus 2 is equal to -1. The next step that I'm going to be doing is expanding and then simplifying. That means the -4 must times with everything inside the bracket. So I'm going 3x take away 4x. -4 times 2 is -8 is equal to -1. The next step is just simplifying. 3x take away 4x. 3x take away 4x is -x. Take away 8 is equal to -1. I will then plus 8 to both sides. So -1 plus 8 equals 7. And then I divide both sides by -1 right here. So that means I'll have x is equal to -7. Now I know that, I just plug that into my first equation. I'm picking my first one because it's easier. So I've got y equals -7 plus 2. And that will give me y equals -5. So when x is -7, y is -5. Now we're looking at elimination. So with elimination, we need to line them up and make sure that our x's are under each other and our y is under each other. So I'll do that before we go any further. So 9x plus 10y equals 153. And then 3x take away y is equal to 12. So the first thing I will do here is I know that if I add or take away this 3x minus y and 12, they are equivalent. So I'm doing exactly the same thing. But the aim that we are wanting is to be able to be subtracting one of our x's or subtracting one of our y's to cancel that variable. At the moment, we can't cancel. So this one's a bit easier in terms of we can see straight away that if I times this side here by 3 and I times this side here by 3 to make it a equivalent relationship, it will then be the same many as x's as the top equation, so I can cancel that variable. So if I rewrite that, that will give me 9x plus 10y is equal to 153. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times -y is -3y. And 3 times 12 is 36. Now, when I underline it and take it away, I'm taking away everything. I find it easier to put 3 takeaway signs just so I remember with my negative numbers. So 9x take away 9x cancels all my x's out and leaves me with 0. 10 take away -3y, that is going to negative and negative is a positive, so it will turn into plus. So it would actually be plus 13y. And then the last part, I've got 153 take away 36, and that gives me 117. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I've only got 13y is equal to 117, so I just need to do the same thing on both sides to get y by itself and divide. So that will give me 117 divided by 13 is equal to 9. Now I know what y is, I just need to plug it into one of these equations. I'm going to look at my second equation over here, just because it looks easier. So I've got 3x take away 9 equals 12. That means I'm going to plus 9. So 12 plus 9 is equal to 21. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, which will give me 7. So my intercept of both equations will be at x is 7, y is 9. Again, have a go with yourselves. Make sure you're pausing the video to try these questions out. We are again going to be doing the elimination method. So I've got two equations here. I've got 6x take away 2y is equal to 10, and I've got 2x plus 5y is equal to negative 8. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm wanting to make there's the same amount of x's or same amount of y's. So straight away, I'm just going to times my bottom one, both sides, by 3. If I do that, it means I'm going to have equal amount of x's. So I'm going to rewrite that. So that means I've got 6x take away 2y equals 10. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 5 is 15, so 15y. And 3 times negative 8 equals negative 24. Again, I'm just going to do my line, and I'm going to put my takeaway sign. Now, it could be plus or takeaway depending on the operation. In this case here, I've got negative 2, y take away 15, which will give me negative 17, and the x's are cancelled out. So that means I've got negative 17y is equal to 10 take away negative 24. That means it turns into plus, so it becomes 34. And we know then that if we divide 34 by 17, we will get to 2. But number 17 is negative, so we're doing the opposite, so it'll be negative 2. Again, I want us to pick one of our equations. I'm going to use this one right here, and I'll substitute that value into my equation. I will simplify it. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So I've got 2x take away 10 is equal to negative 8. I will then add 10 to both sides, which will give me 2. And I divide both sides by 2, which gives me 1. That tells me when x is 1, y is negative 2. So that's the one point that they are overlapping, intersecting. The last question that we will do together will be 7y minus x equals 11 and x plus y equals 10. We could easily do this as substitution by getting either x or y by itself, but it's wanting us to do elimination. So I'm just going to have to reorder my second equation because I want my y's to be lined up and I want my x's to be lined up. So straight away here, I've got 7y take away x is equal to 11. And then I've got y plus x is equal to 10. Okay, now here we need to think about, do we take away or do we add? So if I go take away and go negative x take away x, I'll be getting negative 2x. But if I plus it and put a plus sign here and plus everything, it means I'm going to be cancelling out my x's. So that's just being mindful of what one we are doing. So the x's are cancelled. 7y plus y equals 8y. And 11 plus 10 equals 21. The next step here is to be able to get my y by itself. So I am dividing, um, it's, it, I am dividing 21 by 8. And that will give me y is equal to 2.625. The final step that I'm going to do is I will substitute this y value into my equation. And I'm going to solve for x. So I will take away 2.625, and that tells me my x value is 7.375. So when x is 7.375, I've got my y is 2.625.